Hello and welcome to the first sort of episode of my TTRPG channel. Yes, what I'll be talking about today is, before getting into the weeds of actually making the game, to do a bit of research, like everyone really should before you start trying to do something. Unless you're a complete genius, you know exactly what you're doing. But usually, if I start doing things without looking into them first, I will end up in the weeds, like I said, and basically just go round and round in circles, thinking that I'm insane, and not get anywhere. So, what have I done? What have I done, and what can I share with you? What have I compiled? After watching videos, going on forums, looking at articles, really spending a lot of time looking at what other people have done, listening to podcasts from designers and all this. And really, there's lots that you can take away. There's lots of different techniques that you can talk about. But having all that in mind, sometimes you miss the big picture. You miss the fundamentals, which is what I want to cover today. So I've compiled basically a list of the big three things that I think are important to going into designing a TTRPG and that I'm going to keep in mind. Everything else is on the periphery. Everything else is about technique and specific things. So, number one, it's going to be hard work. It's not going to be easy. Understand that. If you're designing a one-page role-play game, okay, fine. You'll probably have it done in like a week or two, and it's not going to change the world, but it'll be short. If you want to design a full book, it's going to be a lot of work. I've seen people talk about it, and basically going in, you think it's going to be easy, like homebrewing things is fairly easy and relaxed and fun. But designing a full RPG is going to be tough. It's going to take up a lot of time and thought and work. So that's important to remember. It's going to be weeks, maybe months, maybe a year, maybe more than a year. Especially if you want to do a second edition. You could spend a lot of time on this. So be okay with that and look forward to it. Number two, it's so important, and this is something which obviously I'm just starting to do, to share and test your game to make sure that people see it and can give you feedback, and you put what you've written into action and you try it. And you very quickly realise that things are not all they're cracked up to be, all you thought they were. Things get in the way. Things that you thought were really cool will turn out to be just a pain in the arse. Innovations which you thought, wow, this has never been done before. There's a reason, probably why it's never been done before. People might have thought of it, but they just realised it was shite. So share it and test it. You can share it on Reddit. There's a great subreddit where I've got some of where I've read lots of advice, and where I'll potentially be doing episodes on in the future for things specific that they've shared on there. It's called RPG Design. That's the subreddit. There's video makers out there as well which talk about this sort of thing, which I'll put some links in the description below for all the videos that I've watched for this. Or at least the ones that I think are good. And they're from different people with different opinions and different experiences, but there's always going to be some good advice in there. And you might just hear, in like a 15-minute video, you might hear 1 or 2 minutes worth of really good stuff. Take that away. You don't need to listen to everything. Not everything is always relevant. I'm kind of getting a little bit off tangent here, but that is important. Not everything that in this video, in any article you read, is going to be relevant to you. Take away the big stuff and focus on that. And that brings me to my third point. the third big thing that I've taken away from preparing before I go into this is, what is your goal? What is it that you're trying to do? And stick to it. God damn it, stick to that goal. Pencil, pen and paper, Dice, Pencil and Paper does a video which will be in the link down below, and he pretty much nails it in that he says, if you don't have a clear goal, you think that's fine. Oh, I've got a cool setting in mind, I want to build a system for it. You will start adding to it, you will start deviating from it because of the things that you see in everyday life. You'll maybe watch a show or you'll play a game, and before you know it, that'll be seeping in and it'll be trying to change your original idea, and it'll be fun and you'll get all the creative juices flowing. But what happens is you end up in this sort of never-ending story of, oh, I want to add this now. Oh no, I've seen this. Oh, I like that. Let's go with that. It will happen, and to stop that happening is to have a very clear goal. Write it down. What is it you're trying to do? What is this game? Fundamentally, what's the elevator pitch? You've probably heard that term before for movies and books, and it applies to this as well. What is it? And stick to it. And if you get bored of it, which may happen, you may think it's cool and then decide, oh, I'm kind of done with this. I'd say there's two ways to go. One way is to say, all right, cool, I've had my fun, I'll move on. The other way is to be a professional about it, and that's not to say that like moving on is you're weak or whatever, because we all do that, we all have passions, but the other option is to be professional about it and say, right, look, well, I've written this down, I want to complete it. Maybe I can just cut back on all the things I had in mind for it. I thought this was going to be a 300-page book, but I'll make it a 50-page book. Or I thought it was going to be a 50-page book, I'll make it a 15-page book. And that's okay. I saw a sign once on the side of a gym, and I took a photo of it on my phone, and the sign said, done is better than perfect. And for someone like me, for a perfectionist, where I'm never happy with something unless it's perfect, hence making these videos and just putting them out there. It's not going to be perfect, but it's going to be done, and that's so important. And you'll feel good, you'll get a reward sensation. You've finished it. It might not be exactly what you dreamed of, but you did it, and you can move on now. And maybe one day you will make exactly what you dreamed of. Not every movie that every great director makes is great. Not every book that a popular author writes is amazing. And that's okay. That's all right. That's okay. So, at the risk of sounding incredibly cheesy, be great at what you do. Be the best that you can be. And, stick to those 3 points. So remember that it's going to be a lot of hard work. Remember to share it and test it. Don't be afraid. People might hate it. That's okay. And stick to your goal. Write it down. And so what I'll be doing in the next episode is building my goal. Writing it down. Nailing it down. Nailing it to the bloody cross. Or whatever other religious symbol works. Yeah. Scary stuff. But it's what we got to do. So thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you next time. Stop.